Hello and welcome back. Today we are continuing our Romance of the Three Kingdoms XIII run as Liu Bei, and we are in a bit of a dire straits here. When we started this run, I was kind of under the impression that we would be carried a little bit more by the events in order to get Jing province. That's all 5 of these cities, and with these 5 cities we would be able to fight Cao Cao kind of from this position in Jiangling, and then also expand into the west either through events or through, you know, kind of normal expansion. But it's seeming like there's probably not much salvation in that regards, and I do want to kind of continue the run in a bit of an organic way rather than letting our, you know, force get KO'd, this type of thing, and maybe have a chance of unifying China and getting some more events that are along the storyline with Liu Bei. And I think in order to do that, we're actually going to have to change the difficulty. So we're going to come into the settings, and we are going to change the difficulty down by decreasing, we're going to decrease the difficulty by decreasing expansion, decreasing troop recovery. We're going to keep the other stuff the same, and this will make it a little bit better for us. We're going to check the other settings as well here, but these settings should be able to help us out quite a bit for getting in and not getting pushed so quickly. I think we can resist here. The real problem is behind this, all these cities are ecoing up. You see the commerce is coming up, the farming, the culture, all these are coming up in all these cities all around. And the problem is when we are getting constantly sieged and our walls are getting battered down, it actually lowers our eco. And so in a war of attrition, this is not sustainable. We were defending with some 20-something thousand, close to 30,000 troops before. Now we're down to 15,000. Our officers are also becoming disloyal because we don't have enough money to pay them. And so we are, like, in effect, hemorrhaging our ability to sustain here. Like, it'd be really sad if Peng Tong left, Ma Su. We'll forget about Ma Su. Ma Liang, we wouldn't want to leave, and they're becoming disloyal because we can't pay them, because we can't get eco, because we've been trapped inside the city. So we're going to try and salvage this run. This might, if we get KO'd here, we might leave it as being the end for Liu Bei. We might start a new run somewhere else. We did get to see the Battle of Chibi in either case in this run, and so we're going to see if we can try and stabilize with a bit of a lower difficulty settings. And so hopefully that this will help out by decreasing the rate at which they are trying to expand. We could even set it to slow, but I think we're going to set it to normal. Recovery is probably fine for us too, but it's not too big a deal. But the rate at which they're trying to expand. Anyways, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we have kind of our first battle here versus Jin Zuan. I don't think we're going to watch all of this battle, but this is the setup we have. We have Prayer, we have Iron Mount, and we have Protection. I think what we might do is we might try and protect the walls of the city with this one. They really only have one unit that's going to be worth kind of writing home about in any sort of way. Oh, we forgot to place the army in the requisite spots or the right spots, but we will instead march them all out. And we're going to try and meet them at this camp if we can. And so we will put our 1-horse unit in charge of picking up the various tactical spots so that we can charge the juice a little bit faster. So he'll come over here, and then he'll come down here to do the prayer tactic, and there to pick up the horse tactic. We'll march everyone out. The only guy we really have to worry about is Sham-OK, who even then is just okay. The other forces are not really that strong, and so we should be able to wipe them up. And so we're just going to avoid letting them damage the walls of the city so as to preserve the eco as best as possible. You can see they're on fire. This run's on fire. Send help, please. But we should be able to make short work of these guys. And then we have 2 other armies that are marching in right now. And then after these 2 armies march in, maybe our change in the difficulty of the settings will give us a little bit of a reprieve. Alright, we have our second and bigger of the 3 battles, or biggest of the 3 battles, set up, and we are ready to go. Bian Shi has come to end us. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, Zheng Fei killed someone. Who did he kill? He killed someone that made Bian Shi pissed. We're going to march over here and look to take this. We have the protection tactic there. We're going to have Zhao Yun march in, occupy some cities, and we'll have Zhuge Liang come over here. We are hoping that they push for this camp and we can fight them at the camp, and that Zhuge Liang over here will be able to kind of eventually help them out. As well as our horse unit here, looking to pick up the camps. The camps help to give us more control of the battle in terms of getting more tactics executed, and so this is why we're kind of going for this, and why we also are trying to preserve what little commerce we have in the city by preventing them from kind of attacking it. So we are going to just come in here with Liu Bei. He's going to be the one who occupies the zone, and then we'll put Zhang Fei and Guan Yu up there. We will have him pick up the tactical spots, like here and here, although I don't think they do anything in the same way that controlling the cities do. So we're going to come in here for a prayer tactic, which will give us more control, so that's more of this juice. And then Zhuge Liang will kind of just run on down as best he can. He is a little bit of a slow dude. And then the battle will be met. This is going to be the bigger, the biggest kind of battle here we have, and we are trying to fight it outside the city again to try and preserve the city as best as possible. It's possible that we should have been doing this all along, but we have Cao Zhen, who's going to be one of the stronger units here. We see 90 attack, 84 defense, 97 war. We really hope he gets involved in duel. Wen Pin is also pretty strong, and he's leading 13,000 troops, so this is probably going to be the hardest unit overall to defeat. And if you notice, they have a silver bow. These guys have bronze cavalry. We are on all bronze units, and so it is a little bit rough for us, right? Those are bronze, not gold. But in any case, we're very strong, or we have very strong officers. And after that, it's going to be not too scary, especially Jian Gan. That was the guy who got fooled into thinking Huang Gai was going to submit. And then we have Bian Shi kind of already enraged. I think we killed... Who did we kill? I can't remember. But we have contact first here. I think we're going to use War God, and we're going to get in on him kind of immediately here. And we're going to use War God with Guan Yu to significantly boost him and hopefully make some work of them. We really want to kind of try and keep him a little bit back so that we don't get any surrounds on ourselves. This prayer will help us to increase this juice faster. And he'll come in here and then also pick up this tactic as well, which is going to increase horse defense. We see Zhang Fei is taking a lot of damage. We're going to use our tactic here for protection to increase everyone's defense. And Zhuge Liang, we're going to look to have move behind these guys. We don't want Zhuge Liang to make contact with anyone, and see, this is exactly the spooky. We don't want people to start pushing for Zhuge Liang. He's in the middle of everyone. We're going to use Thousand Slayer when we get an opportunity for it. We do maybe move Zhuge Liang back, and maybe move him up a little, or he's got to get control of the tactic. But we don't want Zhuge to make contact with someone like Jian Gan, so we're going to look to keep him away from him a little bit. And so we can use the tactic here. That's going to increase the horse defense. I think he might have to be within the loop, though. I'm not exactly sure how that works. If he has to be within the loop, then big sad. Jian Gan doesn't know where he wants to go. But now we can use Thousand Slayer with Zhang Fei. The effect is increased because he is next to his Oath Brother, and that's going to really crush their morale, as well as allow us to get in here. Zhou Yu will provide nice coverage to allow now Zhuge Liang to walk up. We don't want him to make contact with one of these guys directly. Jian Gan's not that strong. Maybe we should have just walked up anyways, because his unit's not very good. But we're going to just march him on over to take care of Wen Pin now being the strongest remaining guy. I think once we're in range, we might Brilliant Maneuver. And we're just going to shoot them down. This guy's almost done. And then we will come over. We really have much stronger officers, and they are not putting all of their units on strong officers, which is why we are able to actually kind of make good moves. We're going to use Brilliant Maneuver, which is going to increase attack defense. Overall, it doesn't seem quite as good as stuff like War God and this sort of thing, but maybe we just don't have enough units for Brilliant Maneuver to feel super good, because it's an AoE boost, whereas War God is just boosting Guan Yu's unit, for example, and same with the Thousand Slayer move. But I think we're going to kind of look to finish this out pretty quick. Just kidding. I guess we're gonna have to fight these guys again too. Let's just double check quickly, kind of the attack and defense. Doesn't look too crazy. Zhao Hudun, of course, is going to be the scariest, but he's probably going to sit back inside the city. Even more reinforcements? God. TNU is also strong. He's got Gongs and Gong, which probably has a boost for him in his unit. Oh god, they're pretty strong. Alright. I kind of don't want to fall back to the city, but maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Certainly we want to head them off here. So we're going to use Unwavering, because our bar is full anyways. And this is going to give us some movement speed. And then we're going to look to try and figure out where they're going, because we really want them to just come to this camp so we can use the camp's defensive position. But it looks like maybe they're not going to be doing that, so we're going to march out. And Zhou Yu, we want to avoid him getting pincered, so we're going to come up here if we can. Oh no, we kind of want to chase those. Alright. Well, he might get pincered. That's okay. It looks like he's just going to chase. And then we're going to go after TNU's unit here. Oh, wait. They're just running past us. That's not ideal. I think that we're going to leave... we're going to leave Zhang Fei to man the bridge against kind of the massive group. And we want him to... We might have to use Unwavering. He's getting pincered. Let's use Unwavering here to hopefully help him out. Oh no. We're gonna get meleeed with our archer units. Not ideal. We're gonna come and try and cut off the bridge if we can with Zhang Fei. Or attack Nui Jin to free him up. Might want to slow down the speed a little bit here. Yeah, we are getting pincered. They're getting pincered too. Zhang Fei is about to get pincered. Oh my god, everyone's getting pincered. We want to pull him back over here and pull him back over here if we can. We could use Unwavering. I think we're going to wait. Now we're not going to be getting pincered on him anymore. I think we use War God here because we could afford it. It's either that or wait for Thousand Slayer, but I think War God, TNU is kind of the spooky one, right? So we'll look to boost up our stats a little bit. And then now we're in on TNU, and I don't think we're getting pincered, so I think we're in fine position here. Or we're getting pincered here with Zhang Fei, but we'll look to pull Zhang Fei back here and make a little bit of space to just kind of attack these guys outside the city. Zhang Fei will use his tactic next, but I think we're in okay shape, so we could speed it up a little bit. Yeah, Nui Jin just can't withstand the heat. And TNU is going to be... Guan Yu's currently in on the most guys. Zhang Fei and Feng Zi have begun a duel. Let's take a little bit of a watch, a little bit of a gander. I mean, we know how this one ends. Zhang Fei with 115 war and 7 dueling versus Feng Zi. The only question is, does Feng Zi die? He certainly gets one shot. Nope, he doesn't die though. Big nice for us. Absolutely crushed. Get wrecked, idiot. So, this guy is not very good, but he is leading a pretty sizable force. I think we're going to use War God here. And we get our strikes off. And we eliminate them all. Zhao Hudun's gonna come out. I think we're gonna have Zhao Yun come around and look to pincer him and set up kind of a little bit of a position here. Look to get a little nice surround. We'll just put all on attack him. I think we use War God here. Maybe we're supposed to use the one that decreases his stats. But now... we'll make sure we get a full pincer. We're just gonna crush his morale, bring him down, and he is done. And that is the battle. Hopefully we capture some people. Zhang Fei has the best honors here. from winning that duel. He was just beating people up. That's true. Facts. Can you teach me your insights and talents? You beat me, next time you won't be so lucky. Yeah, we have a hard time getting the max thing. But it's a little bit harder as an archer unit than a melee, and we are kind of wanting for good archer units, so even though Liu Bei is fine at leading spearmen, we have plenty of people who can lead spearmen, not a lot of people who can lead archers, so that's kind of why we've been going with the archers here. And we see, kind of coming out immediately, is the last force that's coming our way. Oh, except it's not the last force that's coming our way, is it? Unless these are defensive. That might be the last force coming our way? I hope it is, Jesus. We're tired and old. And this will be, hopefully, the last one. I don't think it'll be too tough a battle, but we'll just kind of go through our process here that we've been going through a little bit, because we haven't shown it off too much. We're going to choose him as our advisor. He's going to give us a plan. We're not going to like the plan. We're going to stick, we'll come up with a different one. I think we're going to do what we did last time. We're going to put protection here. We're going to put Iron Mount Tactic, which is going to give horse defense, mobility, and morale attack over here, because we're planning on moving the cavalry here, and we'll give prayer over here with the idea that we want to pick it up. We will, of course, position the units a little bit differently. I think we're going to position everyone over here, with the idea of going after some stuff outside the city, except for Zhao Yun, who will pick up this camp and then pick up this prayer tactic, and then this will be pretty good for us. And so this will be the battle. Overall, the battle is not too scary. We just have one unit that is going to be the spooky one, which is going to be Huang Zhang's unit. Very strong bow unit, so we're going to have to try and avoid too much contact. Oh, I forgot. We kind of wanted Zhuge Liang maybe a little further back to pick up some stuff. That's okay here. We'll just load up people into the city, or into the fort. We'll put Zhang Fei on the outside here. We'll put Zhuge Liang over here, and then we will get ready to take the camps here. And this shouldn't be too big a deal. We'll just have to make sure we flank and go after Huang Zhang very, very quickly. It looks like they might have evaluated they can just avoid us, so we'll kind of reroute up here. And their evaluation's correct. They can just avoid us if we fight like that. Can we get to there? Yeah, Han Hao is going to try and fight us, so let's get in on him. I think we're going to save our tactic juice for when Huang Zhang gets here. And we're going to look to use Zhang Fei here. We know how this one ends too. But these duels are very good for us where we are playing Shu. This is going to be, what, we have like a 40? So the question is one shot or not? I think it's not going to be a one shot. Just kidding. One shot. And he's dead. That homeboy is dead. That dude, he is not getting back up from that. And with that, that crushes his unit. So now we can just get in on him immediately. I think we're just going to use Thousand Slayer here. Which is going to crush the morale. He's still acquiring this base, right? Or has he already acquired it? Oh, I think he's already acquired it. Whoops. Or maybe I'm... Am I tripping? Has he not acquired it? Is it just... No progress is happening on that bar. Alright, maybe he's acquired it. But that's Huang Zhang's units out. And so he's going to come out to try and finish the job. Of course, he won't be able to. Because, obviously, like, look at that. It's barely a unit. So we'll use this, gain a little bit of extra tactics, and then just have everyone pile on. This should be over quickly, and so it'll be nice for us. Alright guys, I think this run is dead. I mean, I guess we could decrease the level a little bit more, but we've fended off now 4 attacks. Haven't shown them because it's much in the same fashion. But our commerce is still getting degraded by them attacking specifically the camps. So it doesn't even need to be the walls in order for them to be just them coming into contact with our city. And the problem is if we march out to meet one, then the other guys will just get to backdoor our base. If we sit on our base, then we can handle them one at a time, which is what we've been doing. But we now have 4 armies coming towards us. We have, what is this, 60,000 from the north. We have 50-something thousand from the west. We have 14,000, which, to be fair, we're not that scared of this one, from the south. And then coming from this direction, we have an additional 18,000. But there's just no end in sight regarding us being able to eco out of this. We're not gaining any sort of momentum. They're sending more and more guys. And increasingly, our guys are losing loyalty because we can't pay them because we can't make enough income. So eventually we're going to start hemorrhaging a bunch of these officers, which, to be fair, these officers in the bottom tiers, these aren't that important. But guys like Ma Su, Peng Tong, Yi Ji, Ma Liang, and, Mi Zhu, these guys are pretty good. And so we'd rather not lose them. But it's just, I just don't see a way for us to recover from this position, really. I mean, I guess we could lower the difficulty a little more and see if the AI lets us breathe a little bit, but we've tried to take a couple of these ports in these locations, which will give us a slight bit of breathing room, but the problem is these two are going to get retaken here. The second that we are fighting this squad here, which we can defeat without too much difficulty, but it's just... I mean, I guess the thing is, like, I guess eventually we could kill every single one of their officers. But that is a type of grind that we're not... The type of grind to get out from under this, I think, is not one that I really want to try and showcase when showing the game, because it's just fighting pretty much the same battle over and over and over again for forever. If the way we're trying to get out is to kill every single officer in the game. Via duels, and so I don't think that's that tenable a solution. I do want to showcase expansion. I think maybe we picked a poor scenario for this. It was good for showing off the Battle of Red Cliffs a couple episodes ago, and some of the local flavor, but we haven't gotten any events to take all of Jing. I guess maybe I don't know how to proc the events. If we had taken all of Jing, we would be in fine shape, but this is just, it's just too much of a differential in force power. If we take a look at the info and we look at all forces, and we look at just forces, these guys had like 600,000 troops before the Battle of the Red Cliffs. Now they have nearly 1 million troops. They're just getting more and more troops. So it's not like we're grinding down their troops. And we just have, you know, a lowly 18,000 troops. And so I think this is a little bit of a bridge too far. I think we'll start a new run with a scenario that maybe we're at a little bit more of a equal footing at game start than this one where Cao Cao was already huge. And there's maybe not too much we can do about it. Maybe we do something that's a little bit offbeat. I think we're going to be publishing these weekly, so it'll be next week. But this is a little bit too much, and there's not a way for us to claw our way out. So I think we're going to conclude this run, unfortunately, because it's just too tedious for us to continue the run, and we want to show off other things about the game. So anyways, regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You know, do the YouTube algorithm thing, and then we will... Actually, you know what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of a look at different scenarios. Yeah, let's take a little bit of a look at different scenarios. So we'll take some look at what we might be starting next week. So I thought I would, let's take a first look at the scenario we just played, or we were doing that run in, and that's in the 3 visits. This, you could see Liu Bei here in Xinye. He's not very strong here, and we kind of just got clapped in there. I think the scenario that is kind of the mainstay of the game, in my opinion, is Warlords, and so let's go Affiliated Force. We'll take a look at the big map of things, and in this, Cao Cao starts out small. He always expands really big. Liu Bei's got a bunch of cities, but he often gets pushed back. Yuan Shao is strong in the north, but the idea behind this is there's a bunch of little powers, and it kind of allows you to play as start as a bunch of different little things. A lot of different guys are viable, and so you're not just kind of locked into one of the 3 kingdoms. And so I think that this is a fine scenario to play, and we might be playing this scenario in a little bit, but I think we're gonna hold off on this scenario. Another one is Rise of the Little Conqueror, which is very much the same. Here we're gonna go Affiliated Force so we can get a nice look at the map. You see Cao Cao is starting to expand here in the north. Lu Bu, who for a lot of people, they like to play as Liu Bei. He's the head war guy. He's still got a little bit of a position, but it's tenuous. It's much better in Warlords. Sun Ce is now in charge, and he's ready to take the south, and he is the little conqueror himself. And then we kind of have a smattering of other forces you can play as. Yuan Shao has consolidated the north. Another scenario that is kind of early game is the Dong Zhuo scenario, the anti-Dong Zhuo coalition, which is kind of the earliest scenario where there are going to be a bunch of little powers. We take a look at affiliated force. Guys like Han Fu are interesting to play. You see Yuan Shao is really small here, Cao Cao really small, and there's a bunch of really small guys. The Sun clan is down here in Changsha, and there's a really open southland. Liu Bao's here kind of in the middle, and so this would be a fine scenario. We have our eye on a different one. One that I was looking at that I thought was really interesting is this fictional scenario titled The Tyrant Returns. But I think what we will, or take a look at this, and the idea behind this is Dong Zhuo, instead of dying, that's not what we wanted to click, that's not what we wanted to click at all. Dong Zhuo, instead of dying, comes back, and he assimilates both Ma Teng and Liu Zhang in the west. He was actually not dead. Somehow, Dong Zhuo returned. And he subdued Liang and Yi, and then Cao Cao and Yuan Shao call a truce. And this one was actually pretty interesting because it has 5 really medium-sized powers. It has Liu Bei kind of controlling Jing province here. It has Sun Quan or Sun Ce, I'm not sure which, in the south here. It looks like Sun Ce. Cao Cao is here in the Central Plains. We got in the north Yuan Shao. Normally Yuan Shao and Cao Cao rumbles. Cao Cao wins and takes over it. And then we have Dong Zhuo reborn kind of over here, cannibalizing both Ma Teng, who's normally up here, and Liu Zhang, who's normally down here, to form kind of a large size army. I think this scenario is actually pretty neat, and we might take a closer look at it. But I think what we're going to do is look for a little bit of continuity, and instead play this scenario here, the Battle of Tong Gate, which the Tong Gate scenario was either last episode or 2 episodes ago that we got as Liu Bei. And so in this we can kind of scaffold and continue telling our story and play as Liu Bei here with the full control of Jing, and probably turn up the difficulty to be quite high, while still being able to kind of get a runoff and see things through. We'll skip all the Tong Gate events, which are kind of normal for this scenario because we already saw them with our run, but I think we'll at least try and continuity continue the run and play as Liu Bei here. We'll probably move from Wuling to Jiangling here and look to create an environment where we can hopefully push out. Maybe we'll play on normal difficulty. Let's play on normal difficulty. We don't want to get too hemmed in. We are playing a much smaller force. Cao Cao is still way bigger than us, but controlling the battles and this sort of stuff, we should be able to make progress. And maybe we can get the events that cause us to kind of get all of this land to trigger, and we can get a nice Three Kingdoms tripedal balance. So I think that's what we'll be doing next episode. We'll be starting out here in Liu Bei with the Battle of Tong Gate, continuing the run in some sort of sense, but from a different start in order to get some more storytelling and continuity. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. I think we already said that in an earlier clip, and big nice. See you guys all later.